and welcome to a Wow embossing powder video. I'm Christine, and in today's video we're going to be playing with the Neon Dayz embossing powders, which is the brand new collection from Wow. It's a really lovely fun selection of 4 really bright colours that you can create some fantastic cards like the ones you're seeing on screen now. But in today's video we're actually going to be doing a different technique that I don't think I've ever seen anybody do before, but actually I discovered this technique, or it was inspired by doing my swatches, and as I was swatching out the Shockwave colour from the Neon Dayz collection, I don't know if it was a hair or like a thread or a fibre from something, kind of got caught in the powder, and it almost like melted in when I melted the powder, and I thought, I wonder if we can take some normal white sewing machine thread, or you could go with any kind of thin thread that you have in your stash, and cover this in the clear sticky ink pad, add our embossing powders to it, and then like drape it across a background and like embed it into the background. And it is actually possible, and that is how I have created the background for this card here. So what we're going to do, I'll run through the whole technique first. I'm not going to do the complete card from start to finish. We're mostly going to focus on the background technique for this card, but basically the whole technique of this is you want to start with your white cardstock, but you want to cover it in a layer of the bright white embossing powder, and I'm going to use the super fine, and we'll do all of this together, but I feel like it's better to explain what we're going to be doing first. So we need a layer of white embossing powder on our white card, or whatever background colour you want to do. You can use the same colour of embossing powder. I feel like white is going to work better than clear, because sometimes clear can soak into the cardstock weirdly and you may get funny patchy results, but that's what we want to start with, a nice base like that. Then we want to select our Neon Dayz colours. I'm going with Shockwave, Lime Zest and Electric Pulse, which are the pink, green and blue colours. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a length of thread, and we're going to press it into the brand new Wow Ultimate Embossing Ink Pad, which is really lovely and juicy. So it's really going to saturate this thread with the sticky ink. Then we're going to dump on our embossing powders to cover the thread in embossing powder, and then we're going to carefully drape this onto our white embossing powder background, and we're going to repeat with the other 2 colours, draping them on. Then we're going to heat it, and the heat from your embossing tool is going to melt the embossing powder that's stuck to the thread and kind of bond it into our white embossing powder background. And then once all of that is done and heat set, and we've not got any excess powder sort of visible on the surface or unmelted, we're then going to add clear sticky ink over the top again and put clear over the top, clear embossing powder, to lock everything in and really hold it in, and it gives this fantastic result. I really like the effect of it, and I thought it goes really nicely with these neon colours, because it almost reminds me of like neon lights, or if somebody's been waving a glow stick around or something and created those sort of patterns. So I think it goes really nicely with this beautiful colour selection as well. So I'll move my bits and pieces out of the way, and then we'll get on with adding our ink to our white cardstock. So I'm sure you've all watched Tasha's video explaining all about the brand new Wow ink pad, and how it's such a juicy ink pad that you don't want to do the direct to paper kind of technique. You want to apply your ink with a brayer. So whereas in the past, and actually later on in this video, I will be going back to the old pad to do a direct to paper technique because I think it'll work better, you would normally like squish your ink pad all over your cardstock. But because this is so juicy, you really don't need to. You're going to be sort of wasting ink and getting too much ink on your cardstock if you do it that way. So you want to take a brayer and load up your brayer with the ink, and then just run it over your cardstock, and you can see it on there. It's going to be very difficult to pick up. I don't think you can on the camera, but you will in person be able to see like a light sheen of where that ink is all over your cardstock, and in a second you'll see how the embossing powder clings to this as well. But you just want to completely cover your panel. Feel free to work on a larger panel and trim it down later if you'd rather as well. I just always tend to work on the kind of panel size that I like for my cards, but feel free to use a larger piece. And we're just going to cover that in our sticky ink. Now if you leave your brayer, this sticky ink is going to stay wet and open for quite a long time, so a little bit of washing up liquid and running it under the tap cleans that off really well for your brayer. So now we've got our sticky ink all over our white cardstock. We're going to take our white opaque superfine powder. You can use regular as well, I just happen to have the superfine, and we're going to add it all over the panel. And when I tip off the excess in a minute, you'll see how well the ink had covered our cardstock too. So we're just going to tap that off, and you can see, well, I don't know if you can actually see, but there is a powder coverage over the entire cardstock there as well. So I'm just going to decant the rest of this back into the pot, and I will heat set this. You don't really need to see me just heating white on white, it's a little bit boring. So I'll come back when the background is heat set. Okay, so now we've got our background covered in our white embossing powder, we can get our thread ready. So I'm just going to take roughly like 12 inches or 30 centimetres of thread, and I'm going to do that 3 times. So I've got one piece for each of my 3 colours that I want to use. And just snip those off. And then we're going to prepare our threads. So what we want to do is you want to take one of your threads, take your ink pad and sort of bunch it up onto your ink pad, pressing it down to get it covered in ink. Now you don't have to press this too firmly into here because this is such a juicy ink pad. You really don't need to press it too much to get all of that ink on there, but just flip it over and press it down again. Then we can remove our thread, bring our scrap paper in, and then I'm just going to kind of try and untangle this a little bit just so it makes it easier once the powder is on here. And then I'm just going to sort of nestle it back so it's closer together. And then let's go with the green first. Let's go with Lime Zest first and just douse our thread in the powder. So we're just getting a good coverage, and it's going to stick really nicely with that gorgeous sticky ink pad. Then I find like a pokey tool or a palette knife or something is great for hooking out your thread. You kind of want to get a middle section rather than an end, just so it is easier for you to kind of pick it up. And you can see how, hopefully you can see, it's a bit difficult to show from up above, but you can see how it kind of looks hairy now, where it's sort of clung onto all of that embossing powder. So if we carefully move our excess powder out of the way, then we can like drape and twist our covered thread onto our background. Now sometimes it doesn't go as nicely as that just did. Sometimes it goes a little bit crazy, and you kind of just have to live with where it goes, otherwise you're going to get speckles of embossing powder everywhere. But for now we've got our green one on there, which is our Lime Zest. And let's get our second thread covered in ink, and you could see the first thread, I really wasn't pressing it very hard into that ink pad. I wasn't getting much on my fingers at all, so you really don't need to press very hard for this technique. It's such a juicy ink pad, this brand new one, that it really just sucks up the ink straight away. So just press that in and then take this off, put that back on to protect your ink pad, and then kind of try and unravel it again so it sort of lays nicer on your paper when you're adding your powder onto there. Then let's go with the blue this time. So this is electric blue, sorry, electric pulse, not electric blue. And we're just going to cover that in our embossing powder again. Then use our pokey tool, make sure there's no green powder on there, to sort of hook it up. Again, trying to go for more of a middle piece so we can kind of pick the whole thing up. And you can see again how nicely that's been covered in our powder. Move that out of the way. Bring this back in. We have got quite a little bit of the green powder there sort of spilling out, so we may need a dry paintbrush later to dust a little bit of that off. But let's go with the blue. Try and come in from a different area on your card and then sort of lay it down in a different position. So let's go something like that. And we can move on to the third piece of string. Again, bunching it up, really lightly pressing it into the ink pad, flipping it over and then tapping it again just to get some sticky ink sort of absorbed into that thread. Then bringing back in our scrap paper, uncurling it a little bit and getting it in more of a nice little pile. And then we can add on our Shockwave gorgeous pink embossing powder. I think it's me, I keep knocking that with the paper, that's why the powder's coming off of that. But we'll use a dry brush to get rid of any excess on the white background in a second. Okay, so we've got our pink covered. Again, make sure there's no other powder colours left on your pokey tool. And then pick this one up. I'm going to try and go just for one single, holding it in a single strand rather than a double to make it a little bit easier. Okay, move that out of the way, bring our background back in, and I think I'm going to come from the top to start the pink so that we're coming in from a completely different area. And try and twirl this round to sort of fill in, oops, other gaps that maybe we've not sort of covered yet. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Sorry, that was a little bit off camera. I'm just going to put this away and then I'll come back and show you how we can get rid of that excess sort of speckling of powder. Okay, so if I show you right up close, you can see where I kept hitting that green thread in particular and some of the blue as well. It's kind of sort of speckled onto the background. So I think maybe if we blow it, it might get rid of it. No, I think that's going to disturb the threads too much. Yeah, it's going to disturb the thread. So instead of blowing it, we'll just take a dry paintbrush and just, you don't have to do too much of it if you don't want to. It looks fine with the speckling as well. I didn't have too much of it on the original one, so I thought we could try and minimise it a little bit on this one, but just brushing some of it out of the way just so there's not too many sort of puddles of speckles. We've still got a few bits in there. So that's how we've started off this technique. So now we've got our background to this stage, we need to heat it to lock all of those threads and the embossing powder into our white embossing powder background, which is why we've put that white on there. Because if we had just put the threads on there with the embossing powder onto white card, I don't think it would hold into the background. But because we've got the white powder there, it kind of goes molten again as we heat it, and it'll kind of lock the embossing powder in and hold the thread into it as well. So we're going to heat from underneath just so that we don't blow these threads all over the place, and we're going to go with a gentle heat and just go quite slowly because we don't want to heat it too much, but as soon as you see the powder melting off of the thread and into the background, you move on to the next part. So we're going to heat from underneath. Okay, so now we've heated from underneath, you can see how the thread is now holding into our white embossing powder background, but there are some areas where the thread's not quite touching the background and it's sort of raised up and the embossing powder hasn't melted. So now we can carefully heat from above to try and melt all of the rest of the areas of the embossing powder. So now we've got all of that heat set and it's all flush to the card, you can definitely just leave it like this. I personally would trim those little ends of threads that are hanging off the edge off so that they're not sort of overhanging the panel, but we can actually really encapsulate these threads now. So at this stage you can feel like the beautiful texture on here, but if you want to do some die cutting on this and you're worried that maybe the die won't cut through a thread properly and it may come loose or something, we can actually encapsulate this using clear embossing powder. So that's going to be our next step. And because the new ink pad is so juicy and we don't want to do the direct to paper kind of techniques because you don't need that much ink, I'm going to go back to my old embossing powder pad and I'm going to cover the surface with the sticky ink again. And I feel like we could technically use the Brayer again and the new ink pad, but because we've got the raisedness of these threads, I don't think the ink is going to get around everywhere and give us a good coverage of clear embossing powder. So that's why I'm going with the old pad so that I can press it firmly onto our background and it should get ink on the thread and in the background as well. So I'm just going to press that all over. And then we can cover this with our clear embossing powder. You could also go with a sparkly clear if you wanted to as well, but I'm just going to go with the regular, well, super fine clear embossing powder. And just add that all over the background. There we go. And then all I'm going to do is decant this back into the pot and then heat set that, and I'll be back when I've done that. So you might not notice much of a difference on camera, but that is all encapsulated into there now. So it's perfect for die cutting, trimming into smaller pieces and using however you want to on your card. And I won't go into completely finishing off this card, but the original one that I created, I did actually inlay die cut this, so that I did actually die cut it with this gorgeous flying butterfly waffle flower die, and then I put a frame die cut back in and recessed the interior butterflies back in again, and then raised up another of the outline ones cut from blue on top, but I didn't feel like that was really necessary, because I was kind of hoping that this piece would look like really amazing to kind of make it worth the effort of doing. But it's okay, but I don't feel like it could be like the proper standout on a card. So if you want to get this piece that looks like this, then you can do the inlay die cutting technique, or if not, you can just go along with your die cuts. And I tend to like, I've said this in a couple of videos before, cutting my die cuts from a similar colour of cardstock to the colour of embossing powder I want to add onto it. So this is cut from blue because on the original card I heat embossed it with the electric pulse. And again, with the new ink pad, if you want to do your embossing onto a small die cut like this, you could really gently tap it into the ink pad like I did with the threads, or you can use your brayer to apply the ink over the top of this and then use your embossing powders to heat emboss it as well. And on the actual card I did stack up 2 of these and then stuck them on as the main frame, and then I also cut the whole die again, took out a few of the butterflies from the green die cut and a few of the butterflies from the pink die cut, and then heat embossed them with the lime zest and the Shockwave as well, and then added those with a little 3D foam for the larger ones, or just stuck them in the centre of the bodies for the smaller ones, and then finished with a little wordy sentiment as well. And that's how I decided to finish that card. I feel like it's giving that kind of festival neon light kind of glow behind this as well, which is kind of the vibe that I was going for. So I think it looks really nice like that, but equally you could have cut the butterflies from black card as well to make them really stand out on there too, the outline one. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed seeing this different kind of technique and a look at the Neon Dayz embossing powders, which is the brand new collection from WOW as well. So if you want to get hold of any of these products, you can use the code WOWDTCrafty to get yourself 10% off on either of the WOW websites. And make sure to keep your eyes peeled for more videos from the design team using these beautiful powders as well. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this technique. Make sure you get hold of those Neon Dayz powders, because they are fantastically bright colours, perfect for summertime crafting as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye!